which team would benefit or will benefit the most from these expanded playoffs?
Oh, Stephen A. Smith, you're going to love this. You know where I'm going. The Dallas Cowboys. Stephen A., in the last 15 seasons, they have 4 times been 9-7. They have 4 times been 8-8. And none of those seasons did they make the playoffs. There was some excitement in some of those seasons as it got close, and maybe they got closer. Their games were important and of national significance. But that's more than 50% of the years that they didn't make the playoffs. Now with expanded playoffs, some of those years, maybe they get in. And at any rate, the significance of their season comes right down to the wire when you're 8-8, 9-7, and you add more teams to the playoffs. It's the Cowboys. You look at something like what's going on with Dak Prescott now. I have not been able to figure out why the Cowboys have handled his situation the way they have. Why seemingly cave on so many points and then ultimately toe the line and say, no, we won't do this last thing you want to do? Why say they're not going to set the market with other players like Ezekiel Elliott and then set the market with them 1 week later, but do this with Dak? And the only real thing that seems to make sense to me is Jerry Jones wants to keep them in the news. He wants to keep us talking about them. Well, that's good for the Cowboys. You know what else is good for the Cowboys? Them being relevant in the playoff picture till week 17 or 18 or whatever it's going to be now. The point is that this benefits the Cowboys, the #1 national brand, whether you like it or not, more than any other team, because since they've been at least competent in most seasons in the last 15 years, it keeps them front mind more than ever until the very end and gets them into the playoffs a little more.
Max Kellerman, it's shocking that as often as you do this show, I cannot believe that you've missed this. I cannot believe that you picked the Cowboys. Don't you understand they usually are relevant well into December? They make my day because they make sure to ruin people's Thanksgiving. They usually ruin folks' Christmas and obviously taint Cowboy fans coming into the new year everywhere, which pleases me. These dudes do not let me down. This is just another element in which they can find themselves to be compelling and can be interesting and to tease Cowboy fans into thinking that they're relevant right up until the moment they crash. This is what this is set up for. Just wait. How many times do I have to tell everybody? Be patient. Just wait. When it comes to disappointing you, they will not let you down. So I'm looking at this and no, the Cowboys are not the team that comes to my mind. The team that comes to my mind is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? Because Tom Brady is there. Why? Because Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and O.J. Howard and Cameron Brayton, those boys with Bruce Arians, are still there. Also, you have to remember, even with Tom Brady arriving, the #1 thing we were willing to say is that the NFC South is still the New Orleans Saints to lose. Drew Brees re-upped. They acquired Emmanuel Sanders. They still have Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. And you still have Sean Payton. So clearly they're going to be the favorites in the NFC South. And so many times we looked at teams in the NFC South and we said, if they don't win the division, the wild card usually is not going to come out of there. It might come out of the NFC North with Green Bay. It might come out of the NFC East with the Eagles and possibly the Cowboys. It might come out of the West, definitely, with the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks trailing the San Francisco 49ers, at least if last season is any indication. This benefits Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because what it says is your chances increase even if you don't win the NFC South. You could still make the postseason. That's what this is about, and I would say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to my mind long before the Cowboys. I expect the Cowboys to be in it. I expect them to sit up there and stink up the joint on Thanksgiving. I definitely expect them to ruin folks' Christmas around the world. Cowboy fans everywhere, which makes my Christmas. The fact that Cowboy fans everywhere, Greeny, the most disgusting, nauseating fan base in the history of American sports, that they would be miserable. Nothing pleases me more, nothing makes my Christmas more than Cowboy fans and their sorry behinds being miserable. Go ahead.
Well, I enjoy your take, but unfortunately it is completely wrong, and so is Max's, because you are both looking at this backwards. This is less about the bottom of the bracket than it is about the top. Only one team in each conference will get a bye now, and that's the most important thing that comes out of this. No team has made the Super Bowl since 2012 without a bye in Wild Card Weekend. So you look at the team that has the easiest route, and in my opinion, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Because this coming season, 3 teams in their division, the other 3, all have new coaching staffs. Washington, the Giants, and the Cowboys. And they will not have the benefit of a full OTAs and maybe even a full training camp to implement what they want to do. That division is going to be bad. The Cowboys are taking a step backwards, not forwards. They've gotten worse, and the new coaches will be behind the 8 ball when this starts. And the Eagles, who are the model of consistency and stability and have the most stable quarterback situation and everything else in that division, I think have a chance to run the table in that division, a great chance to get the 1 seed because it's the easiest division in the NFC, and that bye will mean everything. So to me, the team that benefits the most from this is Philadelphia.
Greeny, I think that you have actually answered the question better than I have because it says team. I was really answering franchise. I mean structurally, the Cowboys benefit this, not just looking to next year, but looking to who they are in and where they are in the kind of in the firmament, you know, their significance in American sports, with what they've done in recent history, where they're likely to be. They're 8-8-ish. They're 9-7, 10-6 in a good year, and a little less than that in a bad year. But they're not frequently a 12 or a 14-win team or lost team. They're really in the middle, maybe slightly upper middle, and that's the kind of team that's going to benefit from expanded playoffs. Relevance late into the season, plus sometimes making it with a 9-7 record. And for the Cowboys, that really has a kind of outsized significance because they already get so much attention. Now, however relevant, Stephen A., you felt they've been and they've broken hearts on Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, that gets ratcheted up even higher for the Cowboys. And in some of these seasons, they're going to make the playoffs where they otherwise wouldn't.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.